Darkness falls across the land.
I mean, I say that this is sort of like an artistic endeavor. This is something I really wanted to do. And it is, but when I look back on it, I mean, it's less about the art and more about just being with my friends. Because I genuinely enjoy hanging out with Mike and Adam, and this was just us being us, just spending time together. I mean, we don't really, we act sometimes, but we don't really have to act all that hard because we're just playing us. We're playing a group of friends who, in these episodes, just tend to be in these crazy fucking situations. And sometimes what we do is actually somewhat related to something that's occurred in real life. I mean, the part where I make the artist argument is that I look at some of the episodes and I'm not happy with any of them. But that's not to say I hate them. A lot of them, like, I have favorites and I enjoy watching them, but I want them all to be better. I want them to be the best that they could possibly be, and I think that's where the artistic view of it comes in, because you're never done. Even coming to the last episode, I think we were all striving to improve, and we did improve. I mean, there are some episodes where you're like, well, they kind of regressed there, but overall, it was a massive progression. And the shape of the series, it went from being these loose skits, and it eventually forms into this coherent storyline. I guess you can call it coherent. A storyline of sorts. And I think back to the series that I initially started out to want to make with another group of people. And then I look at this, and some of those aspects that I wanted for that other series came into this one. This idea of non-linear storytelling, but everything is a part of this larger work. I remember one time I requested a day off at the fireworks stand I was working at for the summer, and I got, sure, yeah, a day's off. And that was a day where I actually had 5 extras. I had them committed, and that they were going to be there no matter what. And that was very important to me. That was very important to the project. That was the zombie episode. Extras were quite imperative when you have zombies. I was told, yeah, sure, you have that day off, and then the day rolls around. I need you to come into work. I can't. Well, I'm gonna need you to be here no matter what. And so I got in my car that morning and I drove up and I showed up for work and I handed in my keys and then I just left. And this show means a lot to me. It was a growing experience. It was 4 years of my life. It was something I enjoyed doing. It was being with my friends. I mean, over the course of 4 years, obviously it's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. There's stuff I'm going through, and the show really did help me through a lot of that. I was going through some rough times, and whenever it was looking bad, I was like, well, I have something to push through with. I just need to focus on the show right now. But you can really see it. That's one of the downsides to working in improv, is you can really tell when there's an outside influence emotionally. You can see it in both me and Mike. I think Adam's the only one who's ever been able to just put it on a shelf and forget about it and just push right through, and that's one of the reasons why I respect him so much. He's like, we could be, Mike and I, like Shoemaker, Mike and I were just not putting forth. I even wrote the episode and I wasn't putting forth what I should have, and I feel really bad for that. But Adam came in and gave just over the top what he needed to do. And to stick with something from start to finish for pretty much 4 years, yeah, the series meant something. I mean, there's no way of saying it didn't.
And Greg, you've been a fan of the show. Yeah, you've been a fan of the show for a while. The channel completely for a while. I don't believe you didn't come on and start helping us until what, the second season? Right?
Second season, yeah.
What was the first episode that you did?
First episode was the first episode of the second season.
Of course you remember. The Phantom Casting?
Yeah, the Phantom Casting, where I'm hired to be your new friend after Nick and Adam mysteriously vanished, presumed for dead after the rabbit incident at the end of the first season.
We should get him to write that little synopsis blurb before every episode. Like, whenever you're like looking through TV guides, like this week Jesse and James fuck each other in the ass. We should be like, this week Mike finds new friends after his old ones are presumed dead.
What would be the favorite episode you were in?
If I was going by most fun to film, it would be a toss-up between the second episode we did, Attack of the
Fanboys?
Yeah, Attack of the Fanboys, and I think it was, the fourth episode, All Hope Is Gone. Those two were hands down the most fun to film.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe when I played Adolf Hitler. No.
I hate them Jews.
Yeah.
Pearly Gates. He's like, I connected with my inner self.
I spent so much time in Germany. I got that hate for him.
Exactly.
So, do you ever fear that Nick's going to sexually assault you while we're on set?
No, because we have you two to rein him in.
So what you're saying is, as long as Adam and I are here, you don't fear for your anal region.
No.
Hey, Scott, you want to go help me get drinks for everyone?
Right.
So what you're saying is you would never hang out with Nick if it was just you guys and Nick.
I'd hang out with him by myself, but I wouldn't accept anything he gave me to drink. As long as if it's not in a can that's not opened already, I am not going to accept any.
Well, you'd have to look close because there's like a little hole, you know.
Yeah, it's just injected. Would you like some Jolly Ranchers? I always got Jolly Ranchers lying around. Remember the time we were driving, and I can't remember what I was saying, but then I all of a sudden got all depressed, and I'm like, and I'm taking you guys with me, and then I swerved the car so it almost went off the road.
Oh my God! Yes, I remember. Oh my God! I do remember that. That was. I will say I've always enjoyed doing these episodes with you guys. It's always been a lot of fun, have a lot of laughs, really enjoyed myself. So, I mean,
we can't pay you, so we might as well make it an enjoyable experience.
Right? I don't really need to be paid. I'm just doing this because I'm friends with you guys. I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy, goofing off and acting retarded in front of a camera.
I want the royalties though.
You're not getting any yet, Scott.
Scott's a money-hungry whore.
When are you going to start paying up, huh? Well, Scott, I said, if I finished, you get paid.
You'd either pay me in the two types of greens, paper or the leafy one.
We tend to pay every male that helps us with one thing. We pay
Sex with my sister. Did I beat you to it?
No, I was going to say sex with you, but...
Well, I mean, if you want to... After this interview, if you want to come in the bathroom and take a stab at it.
The best episode 9 is Murder He Composed. Now that was an episode idea that Mike had concepted and thought about for a while, and we finally broke it, and it was golden. It was one of those crazy episodes. Like I said before, I love the crazy episodes, and it was just us playing ourselves, but more detective-y thing. Like if we were in a detective TV show, here's how the rules would break down. Nick would be the out-of-control cop who doesn't play by the rules and always gets in trouble. I play the straight-laced detective who always follows the rules, because that's kind of how I am, that's kind of how Nick is, and of course Mike would be the serial killer out of the three of us. Also, the ending of the episode is also one of my favorites. It's like Nick's getting shot. I go to help him, and I get shot because of him, and then Nick gets killed by Mike. That's pretty much how I had nightmares that was how we were all going to die. When we started hanging out together, that's pretty much how I envisioned our deaths to be. That Nick would get shot, I'd go to help him, I'd get killed because of it, and then Mike comes up, kills Nick, and then Mike goes away to Tahiti or Africa or something.
When it comes to episode 9, Murder He Composed had to be my favorite. It was something different. It didn't start out as a cop drama. The initial concepts were kind of really serious, and we were considering bringing in for something else. And then we just took that idea and just ran with it into a buddy cop comedy. It was interesting. It was slightly more serious, dramatic, but it was a goofy dramatic. It had a twist ending that was just different.
My favorite 9th episode, although The Sins of Our Friends is one of my favorite episodes that we've ever done, honestly, because Nick and I, the two main characters, just going back and forth between the two groups and just the ridiculousness of the story. Nick's part where he reads 50 Shades of Grey. Great episode. But not my favorite 9th episode. My favorite 9th episode is Murder He Composed from Season 2. I wrote this a completely different way just to really get at females. The funny thing about the episode, I don't think we ever really got the point across, but each victim of the serial killer in the episode has the initials of one of my ex-girlfriends, and we spoofed all of their names. And I don't think we ever really got that point across clearly in the episode, but it was something completely different from what we had been doing, and I liked the cliche that Nick's character was, and Adam's character, and just the way they played off each other so well. And I had such a small part in the episode as far as acting goes, but the writing and the way the episode was filmed was primarily, of course, me. I just sounded like a cocky asshole. Of course it was me. Of course!
Let's open it up to the two that are awake and the one that's asleep. And,
I'm awake.
do you guys have anything that wasn't on the cards that you want to ask?
You guys think you became closer friends because of the videos?
Oh, Mike and I touched penises.
That's a good
I don't even
question.
know these guys.
He's contractually obligated to sit here. A couple years ago when we started, I got him drunk for the first time he had ever been drunk in his entire life. And I said, Adam, how do you sign your name? And he just wrote it down, and then the next day when he found out that he just signed a contract for at least 3 seasons and everything related to it. He's since then, he's stuck around. He's here right now because his contract tells him that unless he wants to get sued, he has to be here. And
He got me young and dumb out of high school, so I signed it, of course.
He's already in college. But Nick doesn't even have a contract. He just begs me every time. Please put me in this one.
I need to get some pussy.
No, that's a great question though. I would say yeah, because it originally started as like a business type thing. It's like I had this idea and he was able to help me, and then we ended up bringing Adam into it, and it's kind of like, let's do these videos. And then we became closer, like in more personal aspects of our life. Like I've been there when Nick's cried about an ex-girlfriend in the back seat of a car.
I was drunk.
Well, I'm just saying.
I wouldn't have cried about her otherwise.
No, but in all seriousness, that really happened.
That did
I
happen.
had,
I almost started doing that in the backseat, I bet too.
we've been, in the last couple of years, we've been through some tough times in our own personal lives in which the other two, or at least one of the other two, have been there for that person, so.
Not Adam.
I would say yes, that would be my answer to the question. What do you think?
It was like I'd known Nick from high school, and yeah.
That's when we started actually writing together.
Yeah, and then we got to college, and it's like, cool stuff, woo. And then all of a sudden, he brings along this guy. I was like, I have no idea who the hell he is. Like, what the hell is this guy sitting at our table? And it's like, hey, let's do this YouTube show thing. I want you to come on and help. Like, okay, cool. And it wasn't really until like we started writing quantum physics theory of relativity we actually started like doing stuff.
Yeah. What do you think?
Of course. Of course, man, you've been there. Well, I've cried about girls. On your porch and not drunk. And then when I was drunk.
And then the time when you were sleeping in your room, I was in the corner crying about girls.
Exactly. Or the time that your aunt would let me in the house to go do that again. Because she said I was keeping her awake.
But yeah, it definitely has.
I did photographs for your father's wedding.
He did too. He did the photos from my dad's wedding. So.
And I got my sister
That Michael
drunk.
went to.
Yeah, I got my...
He got his sister drunk, asshole. But,
She said I was her first to get her drunk.
I bet.
Yeah, I'll be first to ever be with her. Yeah.
I don't want to have to break up him killing you because I'm not going to.
But he's going to.
No, he'll just film it. Like, we're gonna get dreams through the roof now.
Wow.
The